What are the best ways to save for college? Well, the best college tools to use are typically either a 529 account or a joint brokerage account in the name of the parents. So these are I view as the two best ways or the two best account types to save for college. So each of them has their pros and cons. So for example, 529, if you're not familiar with 529, is a college savings account that sponsored by the government that allows you to save for college, and any money that goes into the 529 can then grow tax-free through college. And as long as that money is used on qualified education expenses, such as like tuition, room and board, etc., then you don't have to pay taxes on any of that money that comes out. So it's a great way and very tax efficient way to save for college. The downside is if you don't use that for educational expenses, you could pay taxes and get a penalty when you take that money out of the 529. There's some rumors going around Congress that this may change, but for the time being, it's a big con. Like I've seen scenarios where people have had hundreds of thousands of dollars saved for college. Kids get full ride scholarships, go to the military, get athletic scholarships, so on and so forth. They don't get to take that money out of the 529 without taxes and or penalty, and all because their kids just excelled, which doesn't seem fair, but that's the nature of the beast. So that's a big con with 529 is that it's very hard to get that money out if you don't end up needing it for college. A brokerage account gives you that flexibility where you can save money into a brokerage account and you can use it on whatever you want. So it can be very flexible. So you can earmark it for college, you can pay for college with it, or say your kid gets a full ride scholarship, you don't need it for college. Well, now you have funding for a wedding or for a down payment for your kid's first home, or just keep it for your retirement, whatever floats your boat. But either of those two things are great options, but the downside with the brokerage account is you don't have the tax efficiency that you do with the 529, but you get the flexibility that you don't get with the 529. I personally tend to lean towards a mixture. If you know what kind of student your kid's going to be, maybe lean more towards the 529. If you have no idea, maybe lean more towards a brokerage account. If it's a newborn, I would lean more towards a brokerage account because you have no idea what college is going to look like or what it's going to be like in 15, 20 years. So long story short, you have to think, do I want more flexibility or do I want more tax efficiency? So between the two accounts, there's a lot of similarities otherwise. The other big difference between the two accounts is a joint brokerage account gives you more flexibility in terms of your investments. 529s are pre-packaged investment options. So again, in terms of freedom and what you're able to do with the accounts, I tend to lean more towards joint accounts when given the option. But either way, one of the keys to saving for college is just consistency in terms of funding that account. And the earlier you start, the more time it has to compound, the more time that money has to grow, and the easier it'll be to pay for college and the less burden on you from a savings perspective to get money into those accounts. So start saving early, start saving often. Either account is a good option. If you want the most flexibility and most options, go with a brokerage account. Save early, save often in that brokerage account. Or same, if you want more tax efficiency, make sure you focus on the 529.